it's 3 o'clock, and I make a motion, call the meeting to order. Jonathan,
Present.
Susan. Present. Martha's here.
I'll make the motion for the non-public. So I'll make a motion to go into non-public RSA 91A32C. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Martha,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
and Smith is yes.
3 o'clock.
It's gonna be not, probably just a minute or two, quick.
Go ahead. All set? You wanna make the motion to seal the minutes?
I'll make a motion to re-enter the public meeting.
Okay. Then seal the minutes.
Is there a
See
second?
why I want you to take over?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to seal the minutes from the non-public session 1. Is there a
Second.
All those in
Second.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there we go.
Yes,
All done.
okay.
So we got the budget sheets we're gonna go through. The first one you should have is the interest on the line of credit. So we've always budgeted 10,000, and we haven't used it in the last couple of years. But with our interest rate being way up, and being that this is a revaluation year, and we might have to wait on DRA to approve the revaluation, there could be a delay in tax bills going out.
Yeah,
If the tax bills go out late, that means we won't get revenue coming in, that means we might have to use a line of credit.
yeah.
It's an unknown. So Matt did a quick calculation, how long did you calculate, 2.5 million for,
Yeah, at 8% or 8.25%, it was gonna be like $13,000 or $14,000 a month
A month.
in interest if we expended the whole thing. So, I mean, hopefully, if we use it, it would be short term and we'd pay it back.
right,
But 30,000 is a conservative estimate if we do have to use it.
right.
Yeah,
So I think it's 30,000 is a good guess. Again, we haven't needed it, if bills go out, we probably won't, but we never know. So I think it's necessary to increase it from 10,000 to 30,000.
so I'll make a motion to recommend 30,000 for the interest on the line of credit. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the next one is the trustee of trust funds budget.
Mhm.
So they are fine with level funding, other than, I did include a 5% increase for, any of the part-time or elected, or specifically elected officials for the year. It's been many, many years since any of the elected officials have had any sort of adjustment, so 5% is my recommendation, and with some preliminary conversations, I think that's,
And it's a $300, $344 difference for the year, so.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the trustee of trust funds in the amount of $6,085.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Library, they coming downstairs, Matt?
I thought they were gonna be here at 3, and I've emailed them, so I don't know.
Budget
That's
committee, you
one of
mean?
he's-
Pardon?
The budget committee?
No, library trustee.
Oh, library. I got an email to be here at 3, but I've been sitting down there.
From who?
From that
It's
little
library.
budget thing they handed out at the budget meeting the other night.
Oh, that's the selectmen's review of the budget. That's not the budget committee's review at 3. So you're more than welcome to stay, it's an
Well,
open
I
public meeting.
understand, it's an open meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Library's coming at 4:15 now.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
okay, yep, yep.
Do you wanna skip to another one, or?
I guess skip the library till after, we got fire warden next. You want me to just go through them?
Sure, that's what I'd say.
All right. The fire warden's pretty much level funded except for a couple of small things. It was $21,995, they're looking for $22,070. It's a difference of $75. I'll make a motion to approve the fire warden budget for $22,070.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Next one is emergency management. It's level funded for $6,700. no change from 2023. Make a motion to approve emergency management for $6,700.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Conservation. So what we're doing, for some, it doesn't make any sense that the secretary's wages are broken down between conservation, planning board, ZBA.
Selectmen's office.
And, say it again, Matt?
In Selectmen's office.
And Selectmen's office, correct. She works for the board of Selectmen. It'd be simpler and cleaner to have her wages under the Selectmen's operating budget for the Selectmen's office. So as you'll see, the conservation, her wages have been removed straight down with all the associated payroll costs. It's gonna, once we get to the Selectmen's budget, when is that, next week or the week after?
No, it's not next
No,
week,
that's
it's,
Third week?
16.
16th, okay. So you'll see it be put back in there. We did this last year with timber monitor, and what was the other thing we did, Matt?
well, we combined postage, we
Right.
combined some of the utilities expenses all
Right.
under one department. It's really
Yeah.
very
This-
hard record keeping to break it all up so
It
much.
makes absolutely no sense to break it up like it's done, so.
Yep, that sounds good.
So with removing the secretary's wages and associated costs, the budget was $26,784. The new proposed budget will be $10,350. So I'll make a motion to approve $10,350 for 2024 conservation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The next sheet, same thing for the planning board. Same secretary, removing the individual breakdown from each department, and I'm gonna assign it to the selectmen's office budget. So it was $40,700 for 2023, proposed will be $11,750 for 2024.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. ZBA,
Same thing with the ZBA. Putting it all under the selectman's office, removing it from the ZBA itself. It was $17,153. Proposed is gonna be $3,400 for the ZBA, which is basically advertising, education, mileage, and some office supplies.
Second.
I'll make the motion.
Oh, sorry.
You seconded?
Jump ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Library's downstairs, Matt? 415. So, last week I talked about the good news with the audit, and did we make a motion last time for the fund balance policy? We just signing it this week? Do you remember?
That's right.
Yeah,
You did make the motion, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, so we've already made the motion to increase the fund balance to 13%. All right, so we already did that last week. I have here a contract for a new assessor as recommended by our town attorney. This is, without getting into all the inner workings of why, this is something that needs to happen. It's gonna be with Avatar Associates of New England. It's gonna be a 5-year assessing agreement. It's gonna be from January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2028. The town or Avatar can get out of the agreement within 30 days, written notice at any time. The cost is gonna be each year going forward of $100,404 for years 24, 25, 26. In year 27 is gonna be another reval year. It's gonna be $100,404 for the base, and then the reval is gonna be $199,080 for a total of $299,484, and then the final year of the contract will be $100,404. Avatar does all our assessing software now, so it'll actually be streamlined because they know the system that we're using. They pretty much do all the software, assessing software throughout most of the state, I believe.
They're definitely the big dogs in
Uh, yeah.
that, from what I know.
Yeah.
This includes all your normal duties of the assessor, pickups, meetings, abatements, etc.
There's a huge increase.
No, it's about what we're spending now. We're doing about 100,000 now, so the cost is about the same.
That's,
The budget estimate from our past assessor last year was like 85 or 90,000. And because of the amount of pickups and the way he charged, we were way over budget for that. I think this will actually be a savings.
good.
And if it gets us out of trouble with concrete, then it's a no-brainer anyway, in my opinion.
Well, worth it.
Yep.
I'm just looking to see, we're paying this monthly, so the monthly amount will be 8,367 for each year outside of the full reval year. And we have 6,056 parcels, in case anyone was interested. Quite a few. So I'll make a motion to approve this contract with Avatar as I stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. And this goes in effect January 1st?
January 1st, 2024. So you can sign it. This CCA contract, we could do this now, we don't have to wait, because downstairs he's just gonna speak a little bit about it, I guess, further.
I'm assuming, as well as, and more primarily probably to answer any other additional questions or concerns from the
Yeah.
board of the public.
All right, so I have in front of me here, this is the contract between the town of Ossipee and Colonial Power for the community, what was CCA stand for, community something aggregation? Did we ever?
Community choice aggregation.
Community choice
You're
aggregation.
gonna wanna, I think, pen the motion on that until any questions are answered downstairs, right? Or do you not have?
I don't have
Oh,
any
you don't?
questions.
Oh, okay, I thought you still did.
No, I read through this, we've,
Perfect.
yeah, unless the board wants to wait for this
No, that's fine.
downstairs. So the contract is, let's see, a couple of important details. You have to renew it with 30 days prior written notice to the expiration. If not, it auto renews within 12 months. And the municipality may terminate this agreement within 180 days. From the initial term. And the consultant will be paid .001, that's one, what do we say, 1/1000th of a dollar per kilowatt hour for each kilowatt purchased through this program.
What are we calling this contract?
What was that?
What's the name of this thing we're signing into here? There's gotta be a name for it.
Well, it's the community
Community choice
aggregation
aggregation.
under that RSA 56,
53
53E, yeah.
And in 50, in the actual RSA, calls it slightly something different, which is, well, I guess the chapter is called aggregation of electric customers by municipalities, so.
But this still has to pass through town meeting. If town meeting doesn't pass it, then it basically dies.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve this contract as drafted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have in here, Martha.
Do we get the new rate for health insurance yet?
Yes,
Yes.
Is it 11%?
Do I,
it's about 15%.
It is 15%.
They have been lower than the competition most of the years over the last 5, so the last 5 years before that, I think they only had a net rise of like 5% through all the dips and the peaks and the valleys. Based on what I've seen with them, as well as the interlocal trust where I'm a board member, I think when you see this much of an increase, you often see a correction the next year or two, so it's this, again, we just have to take it year by year. I don't necessarily know that that's a trend. It seems like it's like more of a pendulum that swings a little bit too far in either direction often.
15%, wow, that's major. Anything, what about Primex? You get back to us on anything?
Primex, we're in a 3-year deal
Right.
with only a cap of 3%, so we're looking very good with
Yeah, Primex.
our property liability and unemployment.
that's painful.
Yeah.
15%.
That's huge.
It is. I'm glad you're doing the budget credit.
I mean, we're looking for any fat that's in there for people to make sure we don't have like a family plan for somebody who's had an adult child come off of theirs, things like that. You know, we'll cut where we can, but overall, there's not a lot we can do.
Well, we've been lucky. Been lucky for a few years.
That's true. We've expected some big increases and
Did the library get that percentage increase before they did their budget? They did?
Yeah, it's up 6,000, 5,000.
And they're gonna be bringing forth a warrant article at some point, because the heating system's gonna need to be upgraded there. We're gonna talk about that in the future, but I'm just mentioning it now. Because the old steam, the old boiler, it's a mess. It's they're going through like a tank of oil a week
Yeah.
in the cold season. It's crazy. So,
And TJ is on top of that.
yeah.
yeah, but I think appropriately he has deferred back to the board that they have their own trustees who manage that. I think he's made it clear that, you know, that they need to do some of the research and come up with vendor lists and stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
I think we are attempting to take more of a passive approach to this warrant article and see what they bring to the table. Is that fair to say, John?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna wait and see. The warrant articles aren't due yet, so we have time, so we shouldn't even, we're not,
They'll get it.
yeah, exactly,
They'll get it anyway, right on the floor.
right. But preliminarily, I do support it because it's gonna save money in the long run, because
Yeah.
they're wasting so much fuel oil, so.
Yeah. That's another example of when they want to be with us, they are.
Right. That's all I got. Red folder.
Me either. What time the library coming? Not,
4:15.
Downstairs, yeah.
oh, not until tonight?
Yeah, 4:15.
Oh. You want a recess?
I guess.
Is there anything more, Matt?
No, just budget stuff, budget season, as you know, keeping me busy so far, but.
I'll make a motion to recess until 4:15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3:31. 14.
Get it?
I'm ready, yes.
I'm gonna make a motion to reconvene from the recess and ask you to join us in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll open the meeting for public input. No?
Oh, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Nothing?
I'm good.
Okay.
Let's do this sometime.
Let's want to do the budget already done. Okay, we will do the library budget for this year.
Sure, so overall, it looks like we're raising that up to, should I say the amount or just the percentage? It looks like a 10% overall. $268,841.10. That includes payroll and a slight increase to our expense budget. If there's any questions. It's mainly because of the increase in insurance that went up quite a bit. And then the slight increase to expenses is for migration software, so we can join the Carroll County Library Consortium, which would give us access to Tamworth, Madison, Conway, and Jackson libraries, as well as the potential of joining their book or their mobile bookmobile that they'll have hopefully ready within the year.
Okay. Have any questions for them?
Just one, the consortium, that gives you, you said being able to join the other libraries, in what way? I mean, book exchange, or?
Yeah, so we'll share a catalog. So we all have our independent libraries, but we'll be able to, just basically borrow amongst our libraries. So everyone that has an Ossipee library card will also be able to borrow from Conway Public Library, Tamworth Public Library, Madison Public Library, and Jackson Public Library.
So does it share a computer database?
Basically, yes.
I thought we did that before, I guess we didn't? No?
No, that's through the state.
Oh.
Our library loan is through the whole state of New Hampshire.
Okay.
And consortium works a little bit more efficiently in that we'll have closer contact with these libraries. We won't really need to wait weeks and weeks for books to get in. We can get them within days.
Okay.
And I think the bookmobile is a really huge bonus to joining the consortium. We can have that bookmobile at certain events at Constitution Park for outreach and programs and stuff like that. So,
And Jenny, is it true, I just so to your point, John, like as a library card holder, I can actually then go to Conway and check a book out
Okay.
directly?
exactly.
Instead of going through that interlibrary?
Yeah.
Instead of having the books shipped, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of
Okay.
having to go to our library and they don't have it, and then they have to find who
Yeah,
has it
or
and
if-
get it shipped, and then you get it and things.
Yeah, or if there are transportation issues, we obviously could get it to our library a lot sooner than through the state. And yes, you are correct. You can borrow from the libraries physically with your Ossipee library card.
So if it was easier on somebody's way home to stop at Conway Library than coming into Ossipee, they could
Yeah.
do that and still just with their Ossipee card?
Yeah, and that works for returns also. So if you do borrow from Tamworth, you can return books to Ossipee and we can make sure they get to their home library.
I just got one more question.
One more?
Separate from the budget, I know this goes back to when Maria was here, the heating system there, have you guys been in touch with TJ with the Warren article? Are you
Yeah.
gonna present that Warren article to upgrade the boiler?
Yeah, so we did get the estimate from Todd.
Right,
And we thought it looked reasonable, and TJ from my understanding, was writing the warrant article for that, or?
Well, I write the warrant, so if
Okay.
you tell me how much and the selectmen vote to put it on the warrant, which I'm sure they will, then I'll be happy to do that. Do you have a round dollar figure?
Yeah, we have a copy of it.
Yeah, it's 39,947.
So 40,000 for,
Can I just ask a question on that estimate? TJ is not here. The mini split units now, they do put out heat, but do you use them a lot for heat or no?
No, just during shoulder months.
Right.
They actually can't heat if it's less than,
I think.
32 degrees outside. They're not the
Okay.
right units, so
Right.
they're being upgraded.
To the hyper heat, right. I just didn't know, because a lot of the non-hyper
Yeah,
heat
we
ones
had
can
the
go
same-
down to like 10 degrees, but
Yeah.
32 is pretty bad.
We had
Yeah.
the same question, because
Yeah.
those are fairly new, but the estimate includes updating those
Right.
so they can work.
Yeah, right, so.
I think the only question, and I know TJ isn't here, so I don't know if it's appropriate now to ask, but I don't know if you remember, Matt, there was a question of concern about the lining of the library chimney. Do you, I guess once you see this, or TJ sees this, maybe you can advise if it is all okay, because it wasn't mentioned specifically.
Yeah, that's, the lining is not, I remember that conversation last year about the
Yeah.
lining, but
I do
that's
too.
not part of
I
that
haven't
estimate.
been provided a copy of that
Well, this
yet.
looks like they're gonna put a
Oh, I-
pipe insert in there, so I don't think the lining will come into it.
They're gonna put an inside insert up through.
They're probably gonna sleeve it then.
Yeah, they're
Well-
gonna sleeve it.
All it says is installation of new breach piping into existing chimney.
Yeah, that's not sleeving the whole thing then, that's just
So
going
I'm a
through
little
the,
bit concerned about that
Yeah.
one piece, that we just, I think, TJ, before we create the warrant article, we should get confirmation that
Yep, well-
sleeving the chimney isn't. So Matt, I
What-
guess Jenny, we can work through TJ through you to warrant, or how do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna pencil it in at 40,000 for now, and if I hear otherwise, we can change it. It doesn't, the warrant doesn't get final drafted
yeah.
until the end of January or early February, so we've got.
Would
Plenty
you
of
like
time.
this just for now? I mean, you can
I
have my
can
copy.
email it
if
to
you
you, I
want.
thought I included you on that to TJ, but I'll.
If I missed it, I
resend
apologize, but if it's easy enough
Yeah.
for you, I'll have you forward it over. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Let's add that comment.
Yeah. Will do.
And yes, I will talk to TJ about whether we need to talk to Todd more and add money.
Any questions, sir? I'll make a motion to recommend $268,841 for the library budget for 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now you're off to the budget committee.
Thank you.
One follow-up, we're gonna call it 40,000 for now. That all needs to come from taxation. You don't have a savings or like a capital reserve, correct? Okay, thank you.
That
Thank you.
the boiler definitely needs to happen there, that thing is,
It's an interesting write-up that he wrote up.
Yeah.
We have a lot of, hopefully it gets us stable.
yeah.
Yeah, thank
Did
you
he give
again.
you an idea of your savings on the fuel for that? He didn't, he should.
But also Matt
Okay,
had,
because you get an old boiler.
you
got
secured
a lot
a
more
new
savings.
contract
Get some of
with
that back.
C&D,
from
right?
not paying
So
for
it's
the
gonna be a whole
heating.
dollar less.
But it's something,
That sounds about right,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
probably
I-
just
So
didn't
that's-
bother put it in
Yeah,
there. It shouldn't be too
Oh,
tough.
that's something, I'll make
It
a note.
is.
Make a note, if some reason you can't get it to you, if you tell me what you had for fuel last year and your efficiency of this boiler and that boiler, I can do it for you. Okay,
I'll write that down.
so.
Potential.
Oh, there's fuel savings, for sure. If you got an old boiler and you're going to a new one, it should be a whole lot more efficient. You should be saving a lot of money, as far as that goes. But without knowing what
And we don't
efficiency
know
rate.
when it can be scheduled.
Well, yeah, and it's probably not, I wouldn't worry about this year, I'm more thinking next year.
We don't need to,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
thought the guy was gonna
Yeah,
be here.
in the future,
Oh, okay.
see, because you don't know when it's gonna be put in and everything else.
Community
Yeah.
aggregate,
Yeah.
Stuart's here.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see him behind Dallas. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's here, so he'll
Oh,
speak to
okay,
him.
all
Yeah.
right.
No problem.
What's his name?
You can hang
Wanna
around.
call him up?
Yeah.
Stuart?
Yes.
Yep. You want to speak to the the CCA?
Sure.
We passed, we voted to accept the contract upstairs in the work session, so, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or?
I don't think so. This is the contract between the town and Boyle College?
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
So I think as far as next steps, for committee, what I can do is I can prepare a draft. Well, let me back up. I'm jumping ahead of it. What the committee is sort of tasked to do at this point is to prepare and review a plan. And this plan needs to be presented ultimately to the voters for their vote at town meeting. So sort of working backwards from that, there's a few steps that are required per the statute. So through the committee, I'll work with the committee to prepare a plan, have you review it, make sure you're comfortable with it. Then, because through the statutes, you need to hold 2 public hearings. And again, working back from the town meeting, we should try to have those done October through December, and so forth, so that you have plenty of time. Once the plan gets a public hearing and sort of finalized by the select board, then it moves forward with a warrant article. So as a very next step, I can prepare a plan. We have sort of a template plan that's already made its way through the utility commission process with a couple towns here in New Hampshire. So it's been vetted. We know it works. So I'd be happy to circulate that through Matt.
Please do.
Okay.
And then, so I don't know if that would include you coming to, it sounds like you made a big trip here potentially for not much gain today. I apologize, but if you, I guess when you send me the plan, let me know if you need to come and speak to it, or if the next step is just to circulate it amongst the board, or the committee in this case, which is the same.
I will do that. So I'll circulate it. It's so much of the language in the plan is sort of dictated by statute. But when I send it to you, Matt, I'll sort of highlight. There's some opening sections if the town wishes to sort of address some key objectives for the town. I'll have some proposed language, but if anything, in any way you want to tweak that to your own preferences, by all means.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the public hearing is just going to be a rehash of the presentation that you gave us the first time? So I guess if there's new public here, that they can understand the process?
Exactly, yeah. I'd propose, be happy to do sort of a presentation, explain, like you say, just sort of very similar to what we spoke about at a prior select board meeting, just for the benefit of anyone else in town who wants to hear that.
Okay.
And again, we do it 2 times.
Yep. I guess you'll communicate with him, I guess, Matt?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Figure out a time. Excellent.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Does he need this copy, or is it, you going to email it to him?
Yeah, I'll scan an email tomorrow if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Check voucher totals for week ending October 3rd. Total payroll was $44,738.31. The general fund accounts payable was $19,867.29. Water department, $411.75. Sewer department, $179.94. The grant donation and unanticipated revenue fund was $2,469.18. Total for the week was $67,666.47. Make a motion to approve this. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the minutes for the Selectmen's meeting held on September 25th. Make a motion to approve these. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the Selectmen's work session for September 25th minutes. Make a motion to approve these. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's it.
I have a water and sewer warrant in the amount of $160. I make a motion that we approve this water and sewer warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's all I got.
So you got it? Okay, I have a bunch of, came back from DRA. This was the review of the 2023 institutional exemptions. And there's probably a dozen of them here. This is where they conducted an administrative review, i.e. the paperwork, and then they did an on-site review. I'm going to go through each one and make a motion for each one, so there's maximum transparency on these. And this report is from Philip Bodwell. He is the district supervisor of the Municipal and Property Division of DRA. So, I'm going to go to the first one. The first one is from Phil Bodwell for religious exemption topic. First Congregational Church of Ossipee, Church and Parish Center, Office, and Sunday School, Lot 9327 and Lot 93-25, the Youth Ministry Building, and Lot 9325, the old church used for storage, and 9320, the leased building, and 93-20-1, another leased building, timely filed to A9 on April 7th. The DRA inspected the property on August 1st and confirmed that 9327 and 9325 are owned and used and occupied for religious purposes in accordance with RSA 7223. Lot 9325, the former church, is used only for storage and should be taxable, as it is not used or occupied for religious purposes. Additionally, lots 9320 and 9320-1 are leased to other organizations connected to addiction counseling and recovery, but are not used or occupied for religious purposes. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the 2023 filing deadline, and they are in good standing with the Secretary of State. He recommends that lots 9327 and 9325-1 be granted the exemption for 2023. The remaining three properties should be taxable in 2023. I'll make a motion to grant the exemption to map 93 lot 27 and map 93 lot 25-1 as recommended by DRA.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
There's two sheets to sign there. One has a tab, one doesn't. You'll see it. Next one is for the Water Village Community Church, map 137 lot 9 and 137 lot 8. They timely filed the A9 on March 2nd. The DRA inspected the property on July 26th and confirmed both lots are owned, used, and occupied for religious purposes according to the RSA. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the Secretary of State's office. They recommend that we grant the exemption for 2023. I'll make a motion to grant the exemption to those lots that I stated. Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next one is the Abundant Harvest Family Church, map 266, lot 3. They timely filed the A9 on April 4th. The DRA inspected the property on August 1st, and they confirmed it was owned, used, and occupied for religious purposes, according to the RSA, with the exception of 7.3 acres of backland labeled as lot 266-003T. It's not being used and therefore should be taxable. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the Secretary of State. They recommend that we grant the exemption for 2023. I make a motion to grant this exemption as I just read.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Can I ask you to clarify, is that two lots?
Yep.
Okay.
No, sorry. No, it's two lots, but only one to 266-003. The other lot, he said don't, because it's just backland.
But it is two lots?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was all one, that's all I was supposed to understand.
Yeah, I missed that one, sorry.
That makes sense.
This one just has one. Next one is the Moultonville United Methodist Church, map 91, lot 39, and map 91, lot 42. They timely filed the A9 on April 4th. DRA inspected the property on August 1st, and they confirmed it's owned, used, and occupied for religious purposes according to the RSA. There's one exception, the former parsonage building listed on lot 91, map 39, is unused and therefore should be taxable. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. They recommend that we grant this exemption for 2023. I make a motion to grant the exemption, as stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
There's two signature pages there. Next one is, I can't pronounce this. It's the Buddhist Meditation Center. I can't pronounce the name, I'm sorry. Map 78, lot 5. They timely filed the A9 on January 19th. DRA inspected the property on August 1st and confirmed that it's owned, used, and occupied for religious purposes according to the RSA. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. They recommend that we grant the exemption for 2023. I make a motion to grant this exemption as stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Next one. Crossroads Church, map 18, lot 10, timely filed the A9 on March 24th. DRA inspected the property on August 10th. Confirmed it was used for religious purposes. I'm paraphrasing a little bit to speed it up. Additional documents were requested on June 7th, and they met the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. They recommend we grant the exemption for 2023. I make a motion to grant the exemption as stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. This is just one. Next one is the New England Forestry Foundation. I'm not reading all the lots. Do you want it for the camera, Ed?
How many lots?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
Okay.
You want them?
No.
They timely filed the A9. They filed an A12 financial statement on April 3rd. The DRI did not inspect the properties because they are vacant land, mostly inaccessible. They are owned and used minimally but not occupied for charitable purposes according to the RSA. Additional documentation was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the Secretary of State. They recommend that we deny the exemption for 2023. I make a motion to deny the exemption for 2023 based on the information provided by DRA.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good. Next one is the Lakes Region Conservation Trust, map 255, lot 2, filed the A9 on April 13th. They filed then an A12 statement on same day, April 13th. Property is vacant and it's inaccessible. It is owned but used minimally. It is not occupied for charitable purposes according to the RSA. They are in good standing with the SOS. DRA recommends we deny the exemption for 2023. I make a motion to deny the exemption as DRA requests us to.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just one signature. Next one is the Ossipee Valley Masonic Temple Association, map 47, lot 1. They timely filed the A9 on April 4th. An A12 financial statement was not filed as required. The DRA inspected the property on 8/10, and it confirmed it is owned, used, and occupied by the Masons, but case law has found it does not meet the definition of charitable according to the RSA. They are in good standing with the SOS, but are not a registered charity with the DOJ Charitable Trust Division. DRA recommends that we deny the exemption for 2023. I make a motion to deny the exemption for the reasons stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next one is the Ossipee Historical Society. There's a lot of lots, I'm not going to read them all. They timely filed the A9 on April 6th. They then filed the A12 on May 25th. The DRA inspected the property gonna say this one lot, lot 932725, and the remaining lots on 822. With the exception of lot 66, map 66, lot 30, the Indian Mound, they are owned, used, and occupied for charitable purposes, according to the RSA. The Indian Mound lot is located in the middle of a golf course with limited public access. It's not used or occupied. It's not distinct from the mowed course and has no documentation as to its authenticity. Additional documentation for the Historic Society was requested on June 7th and was received before the 2023 filing deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. DRA recommends that they be granted the exemption for 2023 with the exception of the Indian Mound site, map 66, lot 30. I make a motion to grant the exemption to, I'm gonna read these, hold on. Bear with me. They're out of order, so. I make a motion to grant the exemption to map 93, lot 26. To map 264, lot 1. Map 264, lot 30. Make the motion to grant to those three. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to deny the exemption for map 66, lot 30, as stated previously. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. I have to sign all of these, just bear with me. Four to sign. Okay, we're getting to the end. We got, oh no, I still got quite a few. Cornerstone Christian Academy, map 268, lot 9. They timely filed the A9 on March 24th. DRA inspected the property on July 25th. Confirmed that it's owned, used, and occupied for educational purposes according to the RSA. The adjacent apartment building is not exempt, and a portion of the vacant land should be taxable. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. DRA requested additional documents regarding the use of the excess land behind the school and the size of the playing fields and playgrounds. After meeting with Paul Buckley from the school, we received a map outlining the playgrounds and field and the excess land not currently being used. DRA recommends that we grant the exemption for 2023 on 2.7 acres for the building, playground, and soccer fields. The remaining 8.6 acres should be taxed as excess acreage. I make a motion to, just hold on a minute. So this doesn't have a breakdown sheet on this map. So I'm going to make the motion to grant it, as he stated, to the 2.7 acres, which is on map 268, lot 9, and not, and then deny it to the, can I do two motions in one? Actually, I'm going to break this into two motions. I'm going to grant it to the 2.7 acres on 268,009. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. But I'm going to make a motion to deny it based on DRA's recommendation on the 8.16 acres. I don't know if they're going to break this down through the assessing office. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I don't know if there's supposed to be another sheet for that second set of land. Are they going to fix that in the assessing office? But either way, my motion is clear. So I'll have to dig into that. Okay, this is for the Lakes Region Humane Society. Map 127, lot 9. They timely filed the A9 on March 8th, and A12 was filed on March 8th. DRA inspected the property on August 1st. They confirmed that it's used for charitable purposes according to the RSA. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th. They made the deadline. They're in good standing with the SOS. DRA recommends that they grant the exemption for 2023 for the lot that I stated. Make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Just one second. This is the Roman Catholic Bishop of New Hampshire, map 92, lot 52, the timely filed to A9 on April 7th. DRA inspected the property August 22nd. They confirmed that it's used occupied for religious purposes according to the RSA with the following exception. The 30.4 acres labeled as map 92, lot 52T is backland and is not being used or occupied and therefore should be taxable. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th, was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. DRA recommends that we grant the exemption for 2023 for the front lot, but not the rear lot. I think this is another one we're going to have to get maybe another sheet for the rear lot. Because you got map 92, lot 52, which is the front, and then the rear was 52T, but there's no sheet in here to deny that.
52T is not approved though, right?
No, but we're supposed to deny it. Maybe we don't have to deny it, maybe they're just gonna be taxed. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is, yeah. All right, we don't have to deny the back lot, just gonna get a tax bill. Just one signature. Next one is Second Congregational Church, map 132, lot 13. They filed the A9 on March 30th. DRA inspected the property on July 25th. It's all unoccupied use for religious purposes according to the RSA. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th. They met the deadline, good standing with SOS. DRA recommends that we grant the exemption for 2023. I make the motion to grant the exemption as stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Nope. 52T was attached to this one in the back for some reason in this bundle, so I'm gonna go back and make that motion, reattach it to that one. So. Separate this. That's just one signature. This is going back to the Roman Catholic Bishop, previous motion. Map 92, lot 052T, according to what I read previously, DRA recommended that we deny this exemption. Make a motion to deny the exemption for the reasons stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Put that with the Roman Bishop one. The next one is the Ossipee Mountain Baptist Church, map 57, lot 3, timely filed to A9 on March 15th. DRA inspected the property on the 25th of July. They confirmed that it's used for religious purposes according to the RSA. Additional documentation was requested on June 7th and was received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. DRA recommends that we grant the exemption for 2023. Make a motion to grant the exemption for the reasons stated.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Yeah, I think those two go together.
This is just one signature. Last one. I'm getting tired of hearing this, aren't you, Dallas?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. The First Free Will Baptist Church, map 263, lot 3. They filed the A9 on March 2nd. DRA inspected the property on July 26th. It's owned and used for religious purposes as per the RSA. Additional documents were requested on June 7th and they were received before the deadline. They are in good standing with the SOS. DRA recommends we grant the exemption for the reasons stated. I make a motion to grant the exemption.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. That's the last one. Just, when you get them all done, put them back in the pile with this clip on and the cover letter that has to stay with it.
like we just picked up a bunch of money we weren't getting before.
The RA did their thorough analysis of what should and shouldn't be, so. And I sped read that as best I could.
Did just fine. I understood all of it.
Open the meeting back up for public input.
I do remember, I did have one question.
Okay.
I've been going up Valley Road, I've gone up a couple times. There's a porta potty outside the water tower. They're doing some work on the water tower. It's sitting right outside the gate of the water tower.
That's
News to me.
Yeah,
Been there for a week.
ask, make a note, ask TJ about that.
Yeah, DJ should.
They've been doing work on that road up there, right?
Yeah, well, that's way up.
Yeah,
It's like way up on the dirt road.
Yeah.
Then I noticed right beside it, that other gate is open.
Yep.
So somebody's been going up in there. So I didn't know if there was some work being done up there.
I haven't heard anything, I'll have to ask, find out.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking. I'm gonna ask and find out. All right, that was the only thing I can remember.
TJ should be back, I would say tomorrow.
Get used to porta potty.
No, I was
If
just
not,
wondering.
Jimmy over at Water and Sewer can tell you too what's going on.
Yeah, I drove by it, yesterday, and that's why I was just thinking, I was like, I should ask while I'm here. So,
Okay,
and that was it.
anything else?
Budget meeting, October 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, October 4th, 6:30 at the Freight House.
And we will be meeting next Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning?
What time did we set?
After-
Are we doing it in the afternoon?
That's what I had assumed, we would keep our regular time, but certainly the board can.
Yeah, if somebody, I can meet the afternoon, can you? If you can't, we can move it to the morning.
Yeah, that's fine with me. We'll
Yeah.
do it at 4:15, okay.
Well, 3 o'clock. No, yeah,
Oh,
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock,
Yeah.
works. Next Tuesday, okay. Hear nothing else, make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
4:52.